every heart trips, fingers on glass, static in the mix. Drifting to you, pulling me through. The bassline's thick, the air's like glue. Drifting to you when nothing's true. Just like, subscribe, and let it undo. Velvet tones in the dead of night. Pixel dreams under dim blue light. Every glitch feels like a spark ignites. I'm lost, I'm caught, but it feels so right. Shadows dance, they never stay. Time melts slow, it slips away. Binary love in shades of gray. We fade, we sway, we drift away. Drifting to you, pulling me through. The bassline's thick, the air's like glue. Yeah, drifting to you when nothing's true. Just like, subscribe, and let it undo. Sliding through the static glow, jamming, naming, got the flow. News that hits you in the soul. What it means to you, you should know. Ask why, leaning close, late night crew, raise a toast. Drip, drip, our daily drip. Tune in, don't let it slip. What's the word? What's the vibe? This is your show, come feel alive. Headlines turn to real talk. Jam drops, gems while Damon locks. Questions that make the clock stop. Late night thoughts in a backdrop. Ask why, leaning close, late night crew, raise a toast. Drip, drip, a daily drip. Tune in, don't let it slip. What's the word? What's the vibe? This is your show, come feel alive. Under moonlight glow, the vibe is tight. Gem and Dame on the mic till the break of night. We bring the heat while the city's asleep. News so deep, it thoughts flip. We break it down what it means to you. Suburb fam is the thing to do. West Coast breeze runs through the sound. We live the stories that shake the
raindrops fall on city pavement, washing secrets in the dark. Daily drip, the crowd's amazement. Knowledge streaming comes to spark. Thunder in the nighttime sky.
Get them ready. What up? What up?
Welcome to our Daily Drip. I am your solo host today. I am Jim Jones. So happy that y'all are here with me today. Man, oh man, it's been something. And along with me, I have Cassius Pay, who is also riding along because Plain Dame, y'all, is a little under the weather. So y'all got me here holding it down. And of course, since you're here, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. I'm really happy you're here. Hey y'all, it's me. So happy y'all are here. This is our Daily Drip Show where the news moves fast and the comments move so much faster. Shout out to y'all for the last live stream. We had so much fun with y'all going back and forth, having some comments, making sure y'all are really participating. It makes this a lot better, just much better experience and vibe. So appreciate y'all. So once again, I'm Jim Jones. How y'all doing? And we're gonna get into some politics, tech, chaos, and a little bit of cardio at the end. So if you're interested in that, make sure y'all stay tuned. And before we even get started, make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. Hit that like button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it definitely helps out with the algorithm. So appreciate y'all very much. Shout out to got the comments going already. All right. Well, thank y'all for participating. Cassius Pay, you want to say hi to the people? You about to be
What
on
up? What up? What up, everybody? Yeah, I'm here. I'm in the background, but
yeah,
I'm still holding it down. So, let us know when you're ready to get into it, so we can get through it and do it to it with the fluid on this.
All right. Trip. Of course. Oh, before we get into it too, what's in your cup? Let me know what y'all sipping on, what y'all dripping on. For me, I got one of those sparkling waters, not shouting out the brand because they didn't sponsor it. So I'm not about to do that. But okay, so first topic, we're going to go ahead and get to the people's briefing. All right. So if you're new to the channel, this is our politics news segment. Like I said before, feel free to go ahead, keep it respectful, in the comments, but definitely want to have a dialogue as much as possible with this, but just make sure y'all stay respectful with it. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our first video. A lot has been going on in the world, especially in the United States, so much that there's been some, I don't want to say more so, I guess, extreme, like let's make these changes situations kind of going on here. More specifically, there's been talks of ending dual citizenship in the US, which, it's kind of going to be a grab between loyalty and globalization. So without further conversation, let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
Are you a dual citizen or know someone that is? Well, listen up. So you may have heard by now that Ohio Republican Senator Bernie Moreno recently introduced a new bill titled the Exclusive Citizenship Act of 2025. Now, the bill speaks for itself, right? It would essentially ban all Americans from having dual citizenship, an idea that, according to Moreno, is important because Americans should only be loyal to the United States. That's what he says. Now, if this bill were to pass, it means that within a year, people like myself who are dual citizens would have to choose between our foreign citizenship or our American citizenship.
Okay, so before we go any further, It's interesting because we do have a lot of people who are going to be dual citizens, meaning too, from what I understand, you pay taxes in both places. So it's not like folks are like, I think the citizenship for this person was in Spain. I want to say it was Spain and America. So that means that technically paying Spain taxes, and you paying America taxes. And so with this new legislation, it's like, you gonna pay tax in one spot. You're gonna basically pledge your loyalty to one place, not both. So we'll keep going with the conversation going.
And failure to do so would automatically relinquish our American citizenship. Now, there's a host of legal and logistical questions involved here. But for one, it's important to remember that under current American law, Americans are entitled to having dual citizenship, and this has been consistently upheld by the Supreme Court. But what this truly means is that people like First Lady Melania Trump, who is an American citizen and a citizen of Slovenia, it means that her, alongside the estimated 40 million Americans who would currently qualify as dual citizens, we would be forced to make tough decisions, right?
Drop some drip in the comments. Are any of y'all dual citizens? And if so, if this were to happen, you picking your American citizenship or you picking where your other citizenship is? Let us know.
Tough decisions about our heritage and our identity and our ability to hold multiple identities at once. But these tough decisions, that does not amount to a test on our allegiance to the United States, right? It's just a way to feed into this very dangerous type of American nationalism with these arbitrary and fabricated loyalty tests that don't truly serve the public interest, that don't truly serve the safety of the United States.
Do y'all think that this is a loyalty test? That's a very good question. Do y'all think this is a loyalty test, or do you think it's a way to hone in on what an American is? Once again, let's think back to what President Trump ran on. He ran on make America great again. So if that's the case, and you're like, you know what? If you really mess with America like that, you'll mess with them. Is that a loyalty test, or is that upholding what he kind of ran on? I'll be curious to know what y'all's thoughts are on that. We got some comments going on. Shout out to everybody who's joining in on the chat. So we're gonna finish this out, and then we'll see what y'all got to say on it.
Remember, this is a time when the president of the United States is trying to make it easier for millionaires to enter the country through his gold card visa program. At the same time, it's important to remember what we've always known, that the cultural diversity of this country, our ability to be many things at once, that is a fundamental American principle.
Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that this is fundamental? Is it fundamental to rights? Is it fundamental to what it means to be an American? Or do you think this is a plus? It's a perk? Like, I guess my question would be, if I were, let's say, a citizen of another country, would we have the same criticisms of that country? I don't know if other countries kind of do that. I know it's a lot harder to get citizenship, especially in like we talked about like Sweden and Norway and Denmark and some other places. It's not like you just say I'm about to be a citizen. It's like you have a legit like purpose and sponsorship and all this other stuff that it takes to even have a chance.
There's some key things. Like it's not like, you know, the US is the only country that potentially to not allow dual citizenship. But let's get into some speculation on notable people who've relinquished or renounced their US citizenship.
Tina Turner.
Yep, Tina Turner's gonna be top of mind. She gave up her US citizenship after a long-term residence in Switzerland and became a Swiss citizen. Eduardo Saverin, so that's Facebook co-founder. So he renounced his citizenship and became a citizen of Singapore. So it's widely reported as a tax and domicile-driven move for him. Jet Li relinquished his U.S. citizenship when he became a Singaporean citizen. Singapore doesn't allow dual citizenship, so that's one of the main reasons there. And what's up, Joe? I didn't get a chance to say what's up to
It's
you.
George Clooney. That's what it was. So George Clooney was the newest to relinquish his citizenship and to become a French citizen. He had some social media posts where he was talking about. That's what I was trying to think of, which I'm actually really surprised because he was on his Leonardo DiCaprio for a minute. Wasn't he dating like super young chicks for a long time? Wasn't George Clooney on that too? But
No, I think he got married because he got married and had twins. But
yeah, his
that's
wife is like
neither here nor there.
47 is what it says. So his wife is
Okay.
47. He and his wife are now French citizens. So they're an example, which I don't think George Clooney is French, is he?
No, I believe his wife is.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Then that makes sense. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, so drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that no love lost, like whatever, or do you feel like this is an attack on people to basically be like, I am America and for America, really binding that by like you can't do both. For me, I don't understand why, like kind of like what Joe said, I don't know the legalities of it, but I don't understand why we would care that someone's dual citizen as long as they pay in the taxes. I don't know why. I don't care if you pay your taxes. If you don't pay them taxes, absolutely, quickly, swiftly take that. But when you pay your taxes, you're taking care of your business. I don't know. I don't really. For me, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, it depends, right? So some people do it for tax purposes. Other people do it because, like for instance, historically, you got Josephine Baker, you got W.E.B. Du Bois, who he's a scholar from the civil rights, and he became a citizen in Ghana, later in life. So he just didn't renew his passport. So that's how he did his. You could do it the ghetto way, or you could do it the other way. But people do it for different reasons. That's one of the perks of being in a space where things are global, and when tensions rise or your beliefs kind of differ from where you're at. I mean, people have immigrated to the U.S. People have immigrated away from the U.S. To other countries. I understand from all the different angles, and it's just what it is.
All right. Well, from citizenship rules to real estate games, we're gonna go ahead and move away a little bit from that because we're gonna make sure we come back. But let's talk about some lawsuits. Y'all know they're talking about dropping these mortgage rates even lower. Okay, so if that's the case, a lot of people get their housing from Zillow, and it's looking like Zillow is in for a RICO lawsuit. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Zillow is facing a RICO lawsuit for fraudulent business practices intended to keep real estate agents' commissions as high as possible while taking hidden fees, as well as using high-pressure tactics to steer buyers towards Zillow home loans. The basis of the case is, when a buyer would click the Contact Agent button on Zillow, the buyer assumed they would be connected to the home seller's agent, but they were actually connected to a Zillow-affiliated buyer's agent.
That's diabolical. He walking us through so you can see what he's talking about. You want to make sure you understand exactly what he's talking about.
The Zillow agent would then pressure the buyer to sign a 7-day touring agreement, which the paperwork said was free, but never disclosed that the agent would have to pay Zillow 40% of their commission if they made a sale.
40?
You said 40%?
40%. So wait.
That's strong arming, buddy. Ooh.
So almost half is because you gave me a lead.
Yeah, you have to be volume
like-
sales in order for it to make sense. It wouldn't even make sense otherwise.
40% is crazy.
Meaning the agent had to keep their commission as high as possible. Zillow also pressured their agents to get buyers to sign up for Zillow home loans for their mortgage. And if agents did not get enough buyers to sign up for Zillow home loans, they wouldn't get as many leads, or they would be dropped from the platform altogether.
So I'm giving you 40%. And then they got to go through your process, or you going to let me go anyway. Okay.
Lawsuit alleges Zillow Home Loans rarely worked in the buyer's best interest. And to avoid putting anything in writing, Zillow managers would travel to real estate offices to deliver messages and give coaching to real estate agents on Zillow home loan quotas. Fun fact, Zillow is facing a RICO lawsuit.
So I'm gonna give you these leads, right?
So this, you got to go in person though. You go in, hey, how you doing? Let me pat you down. You don't got a wire on you, do you? Do you?
So I'm gonna give you these leads, right? And I'm gonna take my money off top. Okay. Then hey. If they decide they want to go ahead and get this house, make sure they go through our loan process. You ain't do. Get out of here. How dare you? Which Zillow is a huge platform, right? They have a lot of houses. Obviously, if you go on like search for a house or go to search for I want rentals and such, it's definitely probably the top 3 to 5, probably top 3 sites that you're gonna get, right? But is it worth 40%?
Hey, everybody, hey, yeah, we just broke 100,000 leads. Just know that if any of you in the audience are cops and you don't tell us, it's entrapment. Just know that, okay? We don't play those games here at Zillow.
It's definitely, to me, it's giving Monopoly like vibes. You're strong arm, to me, you're strong arming this because you know that your platform is so big. Who's gonna check me? I think if I had to make a comparison, the only other true competitor would be what, Redfin, because they both sell in they both do buying and selling. Like
you got hit them with that chart. And Remax. There's a bunch of them, but just not as big. That started the whole online push.
But also, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Howard Hanna, they only do the houses that they promote. If I'm not mistaken, Zillow pulls any house. Like if, let's say your house next door was sold, you can go look it up and it'll come up on Zillow of like how much that house sold for, even though they didn't sell it through their platform. Versus Howard Hanna, I don't know if they work like that. I'm pretty sure it's only
so you about to get people, whoever is agents in the comments, you're gonna get them all riled up. Anybody can look up stuff in the NMLS. So that's,
I mean, that's fine. But I'm talking about like regular people.
But you
if
got
I want to look up I'm saying like if I want to look up my neighbor's house, right? Like I can't, if I go on Howard Hanna, I correct me if I'm wrong, but like Howard Hanna shows stuff that they use, like houses that they have, they're promoting, not everything. And that's Redfin and Zillow are showing everything. So if they're strong arming, basically the agent's like, yo, look, you know, I got access to everything. You over here, you messing with Howard Hanna over there. You need to come over here and mess with me because I got access to all the stuff. And then as soon as it go on the market, baby, I know, and I know how much it sold for, and I know all this other stuff because I'm tapped in, I'm plugged in. Versus Howard Hanna's like, we mess with who we mess with, and so I agree with them. It sound like they're gonna have a case, but we gonna keep this close because it sounds like they think that they bigger than what they should be potentially. But I will say this might be the first time I've heard of like a housing platform have legal stuff come to them. Drop some drip in the comments if y'all have heard of another housing platform that has like a lawsuit coming at them like that. Because Zillow and Redfin are one of the only ones that do like buying and renting and selling. So I don't know. We'll see if they start making some changes. What else we got? Joe said Redfin got sued for monopolizing with Zillow to control the market. We'll see. There we go. So,
yeah, I mean, they were not forcing, but you essentially force, like brokers to buy your leads, at a
are you giving it up?
Unfavorable rate, and all
40% is diabolical.
That's where it's at. Everybody goes. It's like going to Google, so it's basically it's gonna end up being like an Ohio Bell situation, or where all the bells got broke up, but we're probably a long way away from that.
Well, we say a lot of things are a long way away. So if you thought property was safe, wait till we get to digital. What am I talking about, y'all? We talking about how California trying to come and get y'all Bitcoin. Y'all hear about that yet? Kelly said, nah. Run me my money. Run me that. Let's check it out. Oh, let me make sure I get the, there we go.
Framework to legitimize digital assets, also known as cryptocurrency and blockchain, and unclaimed property law. California must protect consumer assets and embrace the legal recognition of digital assets, crypto and blockchain, as we continue to modernize our economy and the systems in our society. With that, I respectfully ask for a yes vote.
Thank you, Assemblymember Valencia. All debate having ceased, the clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote.
Now, that bell was not needed. That bell was not needed.
That was a sinister ass bell.
Right, like, ooh,
I've come
I had
to
to stop
take
that.
your money.
Members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 69, no 0. The measure passes. File item 186.
So, what y'all think? Do you think that if you don't touch your Bitcoin, that the government should be like, oh, you ain't really using it, so let me get that. Give me that. Take that, take that.
Well, I mean, like the transactions are technically public anyway, but
Except you haven't touched it. It's been 3 years. You ain't worried about it. Let me get some of that money. Let me get that money. You don't care about it. It's almost like it's what do they call it? Like dormant account. So, for example, in banking, for those people who don't know, after a certain amount of time, which I don't remember how much, but after a certain amount of time, if you don't do any transactions with your actual account, it goes into dormant. Then they start charging you fees because, hey, you ain't using this money. I'm gonna charge you this fee. So they charge you fees. So you'll look up, let's say you had $1,000 in there, you ain't touched it in 10 years. You'll look up and you're like, oh, you know what? I'll go check on this account. Well, it has the $1,000 plus whatever interest you had, but then they're gonna hit you with that dormant fee every month. Like you ain't using it, so we're gonna take some money out. That's what it sounds like to me.
When I'm supposed to log into a cold wallet, like that doesn't make sense. So I mean, people take assets and they shove them off into deposit boxes and everything else. You don't get taxed, or that's essentially what it is. You just, they're about to come and pilfer you with fees because you got something sitting in a cold wallet. So I am not cool with this.
I mean, but it's basically that's them treated like a dormant account. And if y'all outraged too, check out. Hey, listen, you know your grandma, or whoever that they touch that account, go check on that because she might have a dormant account. Let's see. Joe said, "I don't touch my wife for 3 years. They gonna come get her." No, but the pool boy might.
Somebody come get her.
Now the pool boy might though. If you ain't touched in 3 years, you ain't touched your man in 3 years. Somebody else has, sis. That's how I feel about that. Somebody didn't touch that man. Stripper, side chick, somebody touch your man. If you ain't touched your man in 3 years, girl, you need to go touch your man. Or that's not your man. As far as the dude, I mean, my question would be, drop some drip in the comments. Y'all don't be touching y'all girl for years. Like, we like overlooking the issue here. That somebody with 3 years with a wife, meaning that you're married.
We all the way off. We
I'm just
all
saying.
the way off course right now.
I'm sorry. That just threw me off. All right, y'all. So drop some drip in the comments. Y'all got Bitcoin. Y'all disagree with them being able to seize your assets? Essentially, that's what it is.
Don't say that you got Bitcoin in the comments. Don't do that.
No, don't tell me you got Bitcoin, but do you believe that that's seizing your assets? And ironically, too, I will say, I'm not surprised that it's California, right? Like California is just diabolical. Like they like almost always have the most stringent, like trying to get your money type of thing. And it makes sense because they do distribute the wealth of their state differently than probably the rest of the state. So they got to be getting it from somewhere. They about to get it from y'all Bitcoin. Y'all better figure that out. So let's talk about, I can't even believe we're about to go into this. From digital gold to economic survival mode, y'all. What we about to talk about is Venezuela. But more specifically on Venezuela, I want to share with y'all this Instagram video. Some of y'all might have seen this before. I think it's from a movie. I don't know what movie it's from, but it's interesting because it's an interesting take on Venezuela. Drop some drip in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Oh, let me get the volume on. Here we go.
You assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? And okay, great. Who else?
China.
Stop yelling at me, but China is a good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody? No? Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. A little worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela? No threat? Okay. Let me ask you this. Which one of these places can claim to have the largest oil deposit on the planet? More than Saudi? More than Iran?
Wow. Drop some drip in the comments. Did y'all know that? I think most of the world probably know about the whole, oil situation at this point. It's been a big talking point for the past couple of days. So I would assume most people know this, but this is interesting on this movie. Also, drop some drip in the comments if y'all know what this movie name is. It's pretty interesting.
Wow. Okay, what about things like gold? More than all the mines in Africa combined? The fact is that Venezuela is arguably the single greatest resource of oil and minerals on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst of one of the greatest humanitarian crises in modern history? Let's meet President Nicolas Reyes.
All right, so we can stop it there. Drop some drip in the comments. Do you agree that Venezuela has so many resources, or do you think that capturing Maduro, which is essentially where we're going with this, was necessary to liberate the Venezuelan people? I saw a LinkedIn post of someone talking about they were from Venezuela and that they didn't want Maduro under power, and at the same time they consider it to be liberating. On the flip side of that, I've also seen comments where people say don't be fooled because it seems like liberating people, but then we're going to come in and take your resources. Curious to know what y'all think. There's a lot going on right now. And as we continue down this path, I think it's going to end up getting spicy. Let's see, Venezuela. So Joe dropped a comment. U.S. oil companies were in Venezuela. I am curious to know if they'll go back. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze for them. I'd be curious to see that. I think that it's a fair question to actually understand what our motives are. Now, I did also see a video where President Trump pretty much was like, listen, we pulling up, we getting oil. So to me, obviously that's a reason why we're pulling up on Venezuela. It may not be the only reason, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. My question for y'all, and y'all ain't got to respond in the comments, just to kind of think about, even though there are resources available, and it sounds like it ain't like everybody was for Maduro, right? Was this the proper way to do it, or was there another way? Do we feel like this still puts us in the forefront of leadership and being leaders, pulling up like this? Did we feel like we needed to do this way? Sometimes, in some situations, not gonna lie, sometimes there's situations where you got to pull up and let people know, I'm here. My question is, was this a reason? Was this a situation that we had to actually do that? I would be curious to know what y'all think. And I gotta make sure I got this here. Let me know. All right, so we got another. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's interesting you bring that up. I didn't bring this video up because I didn't want to get into it, but Joe said that Biden said Trump won't do anything to Maduro. Then Maduro called Trump a coward. Trump said, hold my Diet Coke. That's funny. I found a video also where the Democratic leaders were like, "Listen, Maduro is not good for good for Venezuela. You know, essentially, he needs to be gone." So I mean, it sounds like the general consensus was that everybody wanted Maduro out from like a political standpoint. It's just nobody was going to do it. And Trump was like, not only am I going to do it, but like, I'm going to come in, I'm about to take their stuff too. Like, that oil is mine. I'm about to run it. I'm running y'all. So that's my take on that. But my real question for us to really think about this, and that's the purpose of some of this dialogue, is, did we have to do it that way? Was there another way? I guess we'll never know, but we're gonna bring it back home.
I think a lot of people, are torn by it because of just the way that it's done. Usually, you don't take whole heads of state because, although legally is not a formal declaration of war, it is an act of war in a sense by using armed force against another state. So that's really where a lot of people are saying that he's crossing the line. It's not technically a law enforcement move, right? But in this case, Congress did not pass a declaration of war. Instead, the president ordered a one-off, though major one-off military raid, and subsequent coercive measures with the oil control, the strikes, the blockade. Doing all that without formal steps has been something that has not been seen in quite some time.
Well, I mean, not following procedures is going on all around the country because, listen, let's bring it back home. Our money got funny, and the next story we got is about fraud. Now, we already talked about we already talked about Minneapolis and the Somali daycare, but apparently there's more to it. So I got like a quick little article I wanted to share with y'all. There's been fraud schemes. So I want to give a little more context than what we did before because it just kind of seemed like it's out the blue, right? All of a sudden, Nick Shirley pulling up saying daycares is fraudulent. Look at this Somali daycare. But it sounds like this is CBS News, January 5th, from Jonah Kaplan and Joe Walsh, that this is not the only instance. Like, fraud is actually just kind of a known problem. I know we talked about Tim Walz and company basically going in and knowing that there's some issues, but this is not just a small issue. So federal prosecutors estimate about $9 billion. $9 billion. Look at that. Could top 9 billion. I'm sorry. That's insane. So Nick Shirley just took it and put a spotlight on it. Let me go through some of these. So it started with this Feeding Our Future. Now, the reason why I'm going through this is because, like I said, we covered it before. Now, y'all know when the Rona, there was money just going here, there, and everywhere. There was these different Feeding Our Future, $250 million scheme. Claimed to work with restaurants and caterers to distribute meals to schools and extracurricular programs, but instead, fake. This person convicted this year. So hold on, let's go back. Y'all know the Rona was years ago. They just now convicting this person here. They question their filings, right? But they're still making money. The federal prosecutors are calling this the largest pandemic era fraud in the US. Now, that's wild when we're thinking about the PPP loans. So they're saying this is worse than the PPP loans. Not just this. They're also, if you go through this, I can drop the link to this. There's low barriers to housing. So they got housing fraud going on. They have I had a video for this. We're not going to talk about it, but there's autism fraud. Like this one, it says, provide services to children with autism. They're accused of unqualified behavioral technicians and submitting claims false that indicated they work with children enrolled in the program. Now, what does that mean? So anybody who's ever worked with kids with special needs, right? Like you have to get like a special certification to say, I do this line of work, right? That's pretty standard with anything that's some type of professional degree or professional certification. What they're saying here is that instead of paying, Jill, who knows how to do the correct things, they put on their cousin Jimmy coming in straight jacket. But they're not following the process. They're doing what they're doing. Fraudulent food distribution as part of, but it's going back to this feeding our future, right? Then we get to the daycares, and this is when we get to Nick Shirley. So if you didn't catch our last live stream, go back and check that out. But I wanted to give some more context that this is a big deal, because this is not just, oh, it's one place where they misspelled learning with the leaning center. This is not a one-off scenario. A matter of fact, from what I understand, that daycare now is shut down. So that's suspicious. I don't know why they didn't just leave it open. Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that the fraud is because someone can, or do you think the fraud is due to ignorance, not having good oversight over it, other factors? I would love to know what y'all think on that. But for me, Minnesota just knows this is happening. It just like they just kind of like trying to ignore it. That I don't understand, because you're going to hurt your people. So that's all I got on that one. Drop some drip in the comments if y'all feel strongly about it, because the last week y'all was going back and forth about the daycare situation, and there's the reason why people are so hot and shining a spotlight on it is because there's more to it. And I just wanted to bring that to the forefront for y'all. Joe said, I think it's because someone can, because of ignorance and lack of oversight.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of financial discipline, fiscal fortitude, whatever you want to call it. Mama, I hit a lick. That's really what this is. And then everybody get up in there because it's, the swimwear is there. And when the pool got water in it, everybody want to jump in. That's how it kind of go. When it come to, certain programs where, hey, there's a program where all you got to do, you got to sign up, you get a grant, and all of a sudden you could have your own daycare and all that kind of stuff. And if somebody in there rubber stamping everything, many of these places where people come from is pay for play, it's fraudulent. There's a lot of corruption that goes on, and it just proves that some of the ideals that we held as far as what the United States is and has been, as far as some of these programs, as far as watchdogs to oversee some of this stuff, it's been lacking. And with the advent of Doge and all this other stuff, if we're supposed to be able to find fraud quicker, faster, better, I don't see it right now. It takes a YouTuber to go in and pop cans on some shit in order for people to get their mind right, which is unfortunate. That means that social media is the equalizer in this, which is sad.
Well, I think and this is what was going back and forth in the comments last week. What you said is totally true, but the bigger underlying problem to this is that leadership knew And instead of addressing it, they just took a very passive stance to it. It's just a couple dollars. Yeah, but a couple dollars turns into 250 million, turns into a billion. Like it adds up. And that wealth then contributes to why
It's transferred.
It contributes to why people are saying, like people are like, oh, I don't understand why people would be MAGA. Well, if you saw this, right, and you believe in Make America Great Again, right, if you believe in that wholeheartedly, and you hear about this exploitation of time and time again, y'all finding issues potentially, like, and you're not addressing, you're just letting them take the money. So you taking the money out of America and you chucking it over wherever else. That's not for America. And so that people say they can't understand how someone could feel over here, right? That's exactly how somebody could feel over here. Same as somebody could feel over on the other side. Like there's got to be a level of understanding amongst people. But the fraud thing of, yeah, we knew they might be scamming and scheming. And it was like 250 million, maybe even a billion, but who cares? I care because I go to work. I care because I barely get paid for my kid to go to daycare. And you over here talking about you don't care about them having 250 million. That is the disconnect I think that people have, is understanding why one might be actually upset and vote or advocate a certain way. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up, that this is not an isolated
without that type of
incident.
waste
This is multiple
or
things.
fraud, then you don't have to make up for those losses. If you worked in retail, it'd be called shrinkage, right? People are like, why the prices are high? It's because X amount of people come in here and they thieving. So we got to get that on the back end some kind of way. It's not like we got insurance policies on each and that every last one of these. Even if so, that's still priced into the item that was stolen, because it's a lot of theft going on, or it's a lot of insurance fraud, people running themselves in the into trees just enough because I don't want to go to work. So yeah, you've seen movies with that, and you've seen people try that. I don't recommend it.
No, I'm not a fan of scamming either. We've talked before about how chicks will be like, I want a scammer. I don't want a scammer. I'm good. But we're gonna shift gears a little bit and talk about what happens on the ground, because this next one is pretty heavy and it is staying with me. I want to talk about it because I have 2 videos on this. I'm not going to show too much of it. I'm going to go to a specific spot and discuss. So Minnesota, staying there, a lot going on there. Recently, a woman was shot and unalived in a vehicle with a altercation with an ICE agent. And there's a lot of debate on the government side and the people side and the media side of what actually happened and what accountability looks like. So I'm going to play 2 videos for y'all. Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know, who do you think should be accountable, or is there something policy-wise that could come from this to make things better for Americans? I'm trying to come at it from that angle.
In a post on Truth Social, President Trump claimed Good, quote, violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. Trump went on to say, quote, it's hard to believe he's alive, but is now recovering in the hospital, unquote. Video from the scene shows the ICE agent walking away after shooting with no signs of injury. However, video from the aftermath shows outraged Minneapolis residents, including a doctor, screaming at the agents to let them help Renee after her crash into a parked vehicle after the shooting.
Drop some drip in the comments. Do y'all think that the guy who shot in the car was hurt? Did he get hurt? Do y'all think that that video shows him being hurt? Maybe he walking it off. Let us know. We're gonna continue.
Can I go check a pulse? No! Back up! Now! I'm a physician!
Hey, listen, I understand. We got EMS coming. I get it. Just give us a second. We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relate?
All right, so we're gonna stop it with that. Just that scene alone, incredibly chaotic. Incredibly chaotic. That is the aftermath of it. And I'm gonna show you another video of an eyewitness to describe it. And then we can talk a little bit further. And then I'll give what I think potentially a proposal for change. And I would love to see what y'all think as well. So let's go to this other video.
Mr. Bentley, do you mind breaking down what exactly you saw this morning?
Basically, ladies trying to warn everyone ICE is in the neighborhood. Just letting them know, hey, and telling ICE, hey, you're destroying families, whatnot. Stop doing this. Hey, get out of here. Stop that. She reversed so traffic can go by. The pickup truck, gray pickup truck, officer ICE got out and was telling her, hey, well, didn't tell her anything, really, just telling her what, I'm going to open up your door and I'm going to get you out.
Now, this eyewitness is merely going to tell you what he saw. So that's the purpose of this. I wanted to show the video of what was said about the incident, and then I want y'all to listen to someone describe what they saw. So he is telling you what he saw and heard.
And that's when the shooting happened, and the car took off, and then it sped off and crashed right into the cars.
And Mr. Bentley, DHS is calling this domestic terrorism. They're saying that the officer shot in self-defense. Does that match up with what you saw this morning?
I have no comment on that. I just can only tell you what I seen, and that's it. That's it. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a none of that. I don't know the law like that, but I just know that I seen what I seen. I didn't, I just felt like the officer shouldn't have shot the gun. That's all. That's it.
Mr. Bentley.
Now, I wanted to bring it up. This might be one of the most practical eyewitness interviews I may have ever seen. He's not overly emotional. He is very much describing what he saw. He ain't even telling you, I feel. Like, he didn't even do the I feel. He's just saying, hey, this is what I saw. And then they tried to hit him with and this is for me I took this as a lesson learned because I liked what he said. He said, do you think, what do you think about what happened? Should that have been done that way?
Like, my name Bennett, and don't put me in it. Yeah.
And he said, basically understanding that what y'all not gonna do is pull me up as a witness and say somebody did XYZ, because I don't know the legal part of it. However, I do believe that other steps of not using lethal force could have been an option. I actually liked his response, but the way that he answered, so unemotional, in that a lot of people take that for granted and being credible. And I wanted to bring that up. If that's a high time, right? Somebody just unalived, right? He not yelling to get, oh, you know they did it. He's not doing any of that. He's composed. He's describing what he saw. And then he's giving not even his necessary perspective of what should be done, but just his perspective of what he processed. I wanted to bring that up because I think that's a great lessons learned about having composure. And that to me shows everybody talks about, oh, you need to have emotional intelligence. That is emotional intelligence that I don't believe probably would. Y'all drop some drip in the comments. I'm going to say this. I think 70% of adults would not be able to have composure like that man did, describe like that man did, and just actually have the level of emotional intelligence of like, this is not the time for him to be up here yelling and screaming and carrying on, because he wants people to actually hear him. And I think everybody here heard him because of the way that he spoke. So I wanted to bring that up, not necessarily to do like, oh, this is this and oh, this is that, but to just shout him out of being a model for when a high emotional time to actually get your point across. One. Secondly, my other part before I move on, or if y'all want to drive some drip in the comments and talk further, or Cash Pay you want to add, is my thoughts based on what I saw from video. Now, video can be interesting, right? Video can be different angles and so forth. To me, I don't believe you have to use lethal force unless you feel like you're not going to be able to win by any other means necessary. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean by that. I think it's wild to me. So if let's say I'm out on a date and chick pull up, shove me, I don't expect my dude to do anything. I also don't expect for me to be like, yeah, let me go get the strap off the bag. Like, no, technically, and we the same size, we can square up. I don't need to do that. You're not that much of a threat that you'll be able to actually do something, I guess, lethal to me. So from my perspective, if there is nothing, and they would say the car is lethal, but that car, it ain't like the car stopped, turned, and was gonna go run him over. You know what I mean? There was no like stopping and turning at the person. So to me, could have just got the license plate. You go pick him up at the house, pick him up at the school. I don't gotta do that for you.
They were probably in front of her house anyway.
I don't gotta do that. I don't gotta do that.
We're free and independent thinkers here. So, you don't have to be on the left or the right to understand law enforcement protocol, or many of the law enforcement, we'll call them firms right now. So there are certain things that a police officer wouldn't do, is, especially if they were performing a stop. In the heat of battle, sometimes some people forget their training. It's indicative of just misuse, or someone, especially because it was stated that he had an incident recently that would have essentially caused him some traumatic a traumatic time, and maybe he shouldn't have been out after that. But there are several videos that it's just certain things to start thinking to what is your mindset when it comes to the context. And for me, it was an unsavory moment, and that's what that is. What you drinking over there?
I said I had sparkling water. I'm not drinking no liquor today. No liquor today. Y'all can send me some Cash App though if y'all want me to get some liquor. Y'all can Cash App me.
Wow, look at you begging. Let's go on to the next.
I'm not doing the OnlyFans, so I'll take the Cash App for some liquor though.
Mm-hmm. Like one of them old drunk cat ladies. Meow, young man. I'll do some things for some liquor.
That was a nice comedic relief on that one. But Joe, I just got some sparkling water. That's all I got going on over here. Keeping it light today. I knew we were going to get into something heavy. So, all right, y'all, let's take a deep breath. which lanes. Like I said, y'all drop some drip. Make sure y'all continue to have these conversations, right? Like and respectfully, once again, rules of the chat, respectfully, please, 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 respectfully. So let's go ahead and get into some technology. I mean, technology can be just as scary. And in this case, not necessarily scary per se, like, you know, what happened in what we just talked about. But I do want to show you, I want to make sure I got the right clip. I'm not messing it up. Okay, no, that's right. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Just want to make sure I did it right. Let's talk about price changes. Digital price change. Now, I done told y'all and talk tacky to me that these companies are going to do everything they can to nickel and dime stuff. But here we go. Let's talk about digital price tags.
Look, these price tags started updating right in front of me. This is crazy, dude. Oh my God, that cup went up in price. I wish I would have, I had to like get my camera going, right? So there was a delay. Dude, this was under $2. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it was like $1.98. Now it's $2.18. But like, oh wait, did that just go down? I'm trying to see if I can catch it on camera. I've never been in a store and actually watched the price of something go up right in front of me as I walked up to buy it. And now it's
He's never bought a
now
car.
it's glitched out and it isn't showing the price anymore. I'm not sure what's going on here. All the rest of them seem to have stabilized. Maybe.
So he could be cap, right? Or he could be telling the truth.
It remind me of gas when they talking about credit versus cash prices. Like
They still do that.
Get that out of here.
They still do that. That's still a thing. So Joe said, what happens if you take something off the shelf and the price change before you get to the register? You're gonna pay the price it is at the register.
You gonna pay what they tell you.
You're gonna pay what they you gonna tell you it is.
That's how they doing it. It's like they like people don't check receipts. They just swiping cards. You thought it was $2.18. You get up there, it's $3.48. It don't matter. Swipe that card. Get it. You got it. We know you got it because we already tracked your phone when you came in here. So we already know what you got in your wallet anyway. And if not, then if you live in California, we gonna take it out your crypto wallet. So it don't matter. Give me the money. Now.
So the digital pricing
now.
It's probably going to be called something like dynamic pricing is probably what they'll end up calling it. But that is concerning. It's concerning because if you're somebody living on a budget, for example, that would be tough to go in and purchase because especially people on fixed incomes. Let's say I'm on a fixed income and I'm going to buy things that are not food. And it's this dynamic pricing that's happening. And I go up there and I have $100, right? And this is the food I have for the week. Well, there's a shortage on I think something that people would eat. There's a shortage on honeydew this week. You know, we're struggling to get the honeydew in here. So it used to be, I don't really like those types of fruits, but it used to be, let's say, $2.99 for honeydew. It's $5.99 because we short now. It's taking too long to get from here to there and everywhere. So, and don't let it be organic. $10.99. Now, guess what? Now you sit around figuring out how you gonna make this cantaloupe stretch. Because then tomorrow you come back, well, cantaloupe then went back down to $2.99. Oh, we got a truck coming in an hour. Now cantaloupe's down to 99 cents. Or honeydew's down to 99 cents. The dynamic pricing is definitely in the benefit of the business. I'll give you an example. Give y'all story time, boom.
It's really because don't nobody know what the hell the algorithm is. It's like, is it because it's me? Is it because of time? Is it because of scarcity? If it's the last if it's the last Xbox, to
you
prevent
already know it's
reselling,
gonna
or are
be
you going from
$2,000.
right $2,000 because it's the last Xbox?
It's the last one in
the original stores. We ain't
in
even
100
reselling
miles. It's the last one for the
Right.
next 100
You
miles.
go in there,
or
if
200
you
miles.
lining up for Jordans, they're gonna be $1,000 a piece.
Yeah, depending on what time of the day you come in. So story time, boom, real quick. So I don't know how much y'all know about being able to buy things in the store that are wrong price. So long time ago, went to a store and I went to go buy light bulbs because I had the light bulbs that change in your house, right? So I went to go look for just getting one, maybe 2 light bulbs because it's not like, it's not like I'm rich. Light bulbs are expensive. So, every now and then just buy 1 or 2. Look on the shelf, whole row, expensive light bulbs for like $2. If I'm not mistaken, I think these light bulbs cost like $10 at the time each, something like that. Man, I took the whole row. I took a picture.
Yeah, crazy
It
lights
is
going
not-
on in the house.
No.
You see that whatever she got in the background is what's in your cup.
No.
I bet it's strobe. I bet it do.
No.
She ain't never showed nobody, but I bet it's strobe.
No. Wow. I mean, but isn't that already like that dynamic lap dance pricing? Isn't that how strip clubs work anyways?
Like you kind of cute. It'd be $5 for you. I know.
Don't they do that already anyways?
You
Like,
go
y'all
in,
get in the car?
like for you, this lap dance about to be 45.
I'm just saying, y'all get in the car, you be like, yeah, man. She did that lap dance, man. That was $20 was worth it. They like 20, bro. I paid $5. Dynamic pricing, but
no, I don't work like that. Not with the house. they got cameras in there now and everything. You can't be back there for freezies. That's rent.
So, like I said, going back to the light bulb
Yeah,
story,
put that hole in there, make it worth it.
I
though, you know what I mean?
took a picture of it on the row, right? And then I went back then, phones were not like they are now, but I took a picture of it in the row. I checked the last 4 digits of the light bulb barcode, and I checked on the barcode that's in front. So that dynamic pricing that they had going on, it'll tell you what's supposed to be there. Like, even if it's not the digital, if y'all ever go in a store, the last 4 on the barcode that they have in the front is typically the same number that they have on the barcode on the actual product. So that's how you can tell it's where it's supposed to be or not supposed to be. So I knew the whole row was wrong. So I go get somebody and say, hey, y'all check the cameras, but I didn't touch none of this. Just I took a picture so y'all could see whole row is wrong. Man, I got all them light bulbs for $2 each. With dynamic pricing, no, the price is $10.99. And how I'm gonna prove it? Oh, it was on that shelf that was $2.99. Well, it cost $10.99 by the time you even got back up there. So it don't matter. Prices change every minute with dynamic pricing. That's what's gonna happen with that. Joe, you say you wouldn't know you go to church, but you bringing up a stripper story is crazy. So I think for me, this is one of many different things that's going to be using this dynamic pricing situation where, depending on, they already do stuff, like depending on where you live at, right? Like, for example, something in Cali can't possibly cost the same as something in Iowa. Same product, it's got to cost less because of cost of living. But the ability to quickly change it versus someone having to scan, change it, validate it, all that other stuff, the quickness of changing how much something costs is diabolical. I think we are running into a new era of pricing people out of things very quickly. Wow. It's crazy. So that's all I got with that. Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all like dynamic pricing? Do you think it'll make your life easier? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna end up coming with the whole, like, I'll give you an example. There are some businesses where you come in, they know, oh, this is Jim Jones. her card is such and such, but she come and pick something up and she walk out, we just gonna bill that card. Now, I don't know what they do when they try to bill that card and so-and-so ain't got enough credit on that card, but there are
that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, get your broke ass on the way.
But there are stores already doing something similar where, I mean, that price is that price, and as you walk out, it's billing you based on the card that you have because it knows it's you. We talk about facial recognition and stuff like that.
They do the same thing now with airline tickets. If you buy them and you're located in one city, it's going to be a higher price than buying that same ticket being from another city. So if you're in a low cost region and you
are you talking about that airplane pricing situations?
Yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah. I don't like that. If it's gonna be the price, it should be the price. It shouldn't be the price because it's me. And who knows what the algorithm would be? Is it because I'm a certain demographic? Is it because of the zip code that I'm in? The zip code is a high crime zip code, so therefore I must pay more because I'm risky when I come into the store. Like there's so much that's going into this that is unsavory, that it's screaming for
and no regulations. Remember,
type.
No regulations. We got to hold on that regulation at the state level. So keep your eyes on that. But I'm glad you brought up Church Joe. You talked about you hate the sinners. What let me see.
He said he loved the sinners, hate the sin. That's what he said.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's talk about values. Lighten it up a bit. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to hear what's going on with the black churches? Because you know they love to have some values in that. And it's getting wild. I've never seen anything like this. So let's go ahead and get to it.
I'm about to show y'all is just a few of many examples of how modern day preachers have turned these churches into wild and out. And quite frankly, I'm here for it because I'm a silly man. Therefore, I am very entertained by this. Now, it all started with, well, the situation that I'm talking about, because this has been going on. It started with this pastor by the name of Jamal Bryant, who decided to bring his wife out on New Year's Eve in public like this, which clearly caused a lot of...
Y'all see that? Did y'all see what she had on or lack thereof?
So Jesus made that hot body. Body.
Jesus definitely did something with that. Okay.
Controversy. And the way he responded to it just made everything worse.
Now, if you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church. I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself.
He's pandering to, you already heard who was cheering and all of that kind of stuff.
You don't get to it.
Yeah.
If you don't have nobody that you're excited about, trade that booger in and find
the book
you
of
somebody.
It was where that hymn came from.
The book of Mr. Cal.
Wow.
He said, if you don't have somebody that you're excited about, trade them in and find somebody that you will be.
All right, now they in there cheering for that. I don't know.
This is the church.
It sounds good. Yeah, it sounds
So
good.
he about to be like, wicka, wicka, wicka. All right, let's go ahead.
That Negroes can talk about. How did you bag that?
Look at the black woman. Yes, tell me more things that I want to hear. Man, I know they made it rain on his black ass that day. But anyway, this is how another preacher responded to his response by the name of Bishop Woodard.
So I guess our objection to a of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore.
Not a few dollar, but a $2.
Brother Johnson
Wow.
said, "Oh my goodness." Yeah, so this is the beef, all right? So we go continue down. This is the whole beef going on.
Okay, now he know damn well he did not have to say all of that. Like, I understand that pastor and his wife made a really controversial decision, and they knew what they was doing. They knew the reaction they would get from her putting on that see-through dress, or it looked like it's see-through. They knew, but
It looked good
at
on
this
her, though.
point, when they see each other, you know, after saying that, they might have to run a fade, which is out of pocket. Like, I don't know. All I know is I feel like starting back going to church at this point, because this is like the WWE. Videos I'm about to
Johnson drip in the comments.
But
Do
that's
y'all think that
specifically why
churches?
a lot of men don't go to, the church today, because it feels very pimpish, and so that is just something that I don't particularly care for, as far as what what I grew up going to church for was not to be entertained. It was to provide that to the figure that we all come to know and love when we go and grow up in church. But this one wasn't it. I mean, people do what they do. It's like being married to a stripper or something. You like, what? You ain't married to what? Did you missing out? Oh, okay,
So
thanks.
the reason why this is an actions have aftermath is that we've on this platform typically come from like more of a we're not a platform that's going to be all like liberal, like, yeah, let people do what they want. Well, like, people can do what they want because they're grown, but that doesn't mean that from a morals or any kind of values perspective that should rock. There are actions have aftermath on this. There are consequences to moving like this. So let's say you did grow up in this church. Let's say you about 12, right? Say you about 12. You sitting there, you're talking about this, and you're like, yeah, she can wear what she wants. She can wear a dress as the first lady. So you're essentially teaching your youth that how you present yourself is acceptable regardless of the job that you have. And to me, that's not true. Like, you can't pull up to the company picnic looking crazy. Like, I can't come to the company picnic in cosplay because that's what I do on the weekends. Like, well, this is me.
But you came to work, though.
No, you
Like,
can't do that.
you ain't clock in, but you came to the office.
Even if it's not the office, let's say it was a gathering thing, and after
It's
hours
still
thing,
the
I
office.
come in-
That's all I'm getting
that's
at.
what I'm saying. Like,
you still working. That's all I'm saying. When you walk through them halls, whether you got a wine spritzer or you went to the bar, because they always do that. That's the test. See who gonna go to that bar and who gonna get drunk and mess up their life. That's how a lot of these company outings go.
no different than Love Is
That
Blind.
discussion was
No
a
different
great
than the 90 Day
Get liquored
Fiancés
up,
when
get
they
juiced
do.
up.
That's exactly what they do on these reality TV shows. They basically showing y'all what they do to find out character, and that brings us to character. You are. If we have this energy for people in government, right? We're like, oh, you're a servant leader. You should be acting this way. You should be doing these things. Then you need to hold your pastor accountable too. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing going on over here. His wife can dress the way she wants to. So you want that to be the representation of your kids, of you, what your
But
church
it is the
stands for.
representation. It's the representation of what the congregation that he's pandering to is what they want to see themselves next to a particular figure like that, and they might be dressing like that in their own right when they either coming in there or in their own life, and so you're trying to see something, or they're pandering to what
Like a no
people want
judgment
to
zone.
see.
You're saying
Exactly.
like a no judgment, and the thing is,
Yeah,
like,
like
it
like
could
people be in the
be.
pulpit with Tim's on, like DMX or something. Like
Listen,
doing all
but
that.
listen, I didn't hear nothing about in the Bible about any of that. However, to be wholesome is definitely at the very least associated with religion and being a figurehead to religion. And that is where people are going to have an issue with that. And just like you said, like men are removing themselves from the church. Drop some drip in the comments. If you're a man, okay, drop some drip in the comments. You're a man. Would you want to bring your daughter to a congregation that's the case? Forget your wife, because the thing is, your wife gonna do what she want to do. But your actual child would like, and if you maybe you do, maybe you're like, you know what, we believe that everybody can do what they want to do. That's fine. But I'm almost willing to bet that most men probably wouldn't want that. They would tolerate it. But if you had a choice that you did not have to tolerate it, would you want that to be your figurehead for your religious association?
We might end up going to a monastery somewhere. It'd be a whole bunch of because we ain't stripping around here, because we don't make strippers. All right, that's not just what we ain't gonna do.
Okay, well, let's one last note before we log off, because we talk about being dads and everything. Let's talk about being physically fit as a dad. Let's drop some that last drip and on something positive.
I thought I should be physically fit as a dad in 60 fucking seconds. Number one, I'm not trying to look like a 21-year-old model no more. I'm trying to fucking survive parenthood, bro. I need stamina just to fucking lift car seats, chase my fucking toddlers, and carry 27 grocery bags like it's the fucking Olympics. Number two, my kids don't listen to what I say. They copy what I do. If all they see is me fucking tired, stressed, and sitting on the fucking couch eating Haagen-Dazs, guess what happens? They gonna fucking inherit. Number three, a fit dad to me isn't training for aesthetics. I'm training for longevity. I want to walk my daughters down the aisle without needing knee braces in a fucking prayer circle. Number four, strength gives me patience. When my body feels good, my mind ain't snapping over spilled milk, loud toys, or a tantrum in aisle fucking 8. Half of dad anger is just sleep deprivation and low protein and no fucking hydration. Number five, being fit to me as a dad means that you can protect, provide, and fucking play. Not just pay bills and breathing fucking heavy at the playground. Our families depend on our discipline, not our fucking excuses. And last but not least, I'm not just building muscle. I'm building memories, leadership, examples, and a future where my kids never have to ask, why is dad always fucking tired? Boom, saved your ass dad bod, regret, medical bills, and one embarrassing gasping for air moment at the trampoline fucking park. Now Venmo me $5.
Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all agree? Y'all disagree? Do you feel like that was motivational? Do you feel like it wasn't?
I think it would be preaching to the choir for those who are disciplined, and there'd be other people that have excuses for why the hell they can't do something or ain't gonna do something, wasn't gonna do something. Is you living on two sides of the coin. Unfortunately, it's more people that have excuses for why they can't or won't or shouldn't than just getting up and do. So, from my perspective, you can't get ready if you stay ready. So whether it's fatherhood or not, you do that because you want to have energy when you go into the office. You don't need 4 or 5 cups of coffee. If you get yourself together and you do right, you outwork your your peers, and you outwork the competition, because it starts in the kitchen, ends at the bed when you go to sleep and you have proper sleep and nutrition. So
You aligning with Joe. You said talking about it ends in the bed. You said I'm not a fit dad, but I'm working on being a fit daddy. Ha! That was a good one.
that was aimed at you. I'm not reading that.
That's fine. I read it. It's funny.
All right.
I think he definitely talked about being disciplined, but he was just giving reasons why to have discipline is something to have for, is worth fighting for. So shout out to him for sharing that with us. I just wanted to end on some positive drip. I think he did do a lot of cussing though, but outside of the cussing, I think it was a very good message. All right, y'all, that's all that I have. We're getting ready to land this plane and be done with all of this for the night, with tonight's stream. So protect your body, your data, and your peace. Make sure that y'all are taking care of yourselves. Make sure you stretch, hydrate, question everything, and come back here and drop some drip with us. We very much appreciate y'all. If you have not hit that like button, do so. Cost you nothing to do it. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Share this with 2 people you like and someone you don't. Thanks for dripping with us. It's been a pretty decent show. Hopefully we have Plain Dane back next week. But if not, I'm still going to be here dripping with y'all next week. Make sure y'all check us out. We're here every Friday night. We're on all the platforms. You can check them out below. Shout out to Cassius Pay for being here with us. Let's go 2026. We in here. All right, y'all. Get out of here.
In this frame of endless we fall into the stream, caught between the code and the dream. Subscribe to me, don't let it fade. Our love's a tech upgrade. Your voice is a waveform.